the Detroit Lions had one of the biggest tests of the entire NFL season. One is to open the season on Thursday night right here on primetime NBC. And the second biggest task ahead of them was opening the season against the defending Super Bowl champions and going back home to Detroit with a W. We don't care how many points you win by in this league. It only takes one. And it was 1 point that separated these two teams tonight. 21-20, the final. Detroit Lions open up this season 1-0 over Patrick Mahomes and those Chiefs. That feel good, Lomas, to say?
It feels so good, Danny. I feel warm and fuzzy on the inside right now. I really do.
Look, I don't want anyone saying that these Chiefs came in here tonight without tight end Travis Kelce, who's responsible for 24% of Patrick Mahomes' touchdowns, or Chris Jones, the big guy up front for the Chiefs on defense, who has not reached his contract yet. Kelce dealing with a knee injury. These Lions, it didn't matter who was in there tonight. They got it together. I would say more so in the second half, they really pulled things together.
They did, Danny. And you know, they had to probably be a little nervous. Think about it. That was the first full action for a lot of our starters. They didn't play throughout the preseason. But to come out and to hold Patrick Mahomes to the point total, to kind of contain him all game long, man, you have to give Aaron Glenn, that defense, a lot of credit, because they stood up and stood out when they needed to.
Ooh, let's see what stood out to head coach Dan Campbell, who joins us now at the podium.
Some tough spots in this game against a really good opponent, and that happened, and nobody got down, nobody got frazzled, and we just hung in there. And it told the team they're built for this, and it's why we play with 3 phases. So, you know, if one at any given time is struggling a little bit, the other 2 will bail them out, and that happened today. And all the units stepped up when we needed them most, and I'm proud of those guys. I'm proud of the staff, you know. I thought our defense really showed up today. And what's encouraging is in all 3 phases, we got so much to clean up, you know, that we'll only be better from. But this was step 1. This is game 1. So I'm proud of them.
You just talked about the way you ended that game with your defense getting 2 big stops, and then your offense behind your offense behind your run game. You see the first down, and you run it right down the throat, and you get the first down. It's probably the way you like to see it end that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we talk about, is closing games out. You know, we with our offensive line and what we have offensively, we need to be able to do that, and it's something that, you know, we worked a lot on, situational football. But yeah, everybody knows the strength of our offense, and it's that old line. But defensively before that, man, I just thought they showed up. You know, they showed up in a big way. We talked at halftime about cleaning up some of our communication errors, and we needed a takeaway, and we needed to be much better on third down. Boy, we did that. We got a takeaway to the house, and we were 0-7 on third downs in the second half. And then you close it out on that last drive. They got 3 timeouts, and you get them in a 4th and forever. But I was proud of the way those guys played, you know. And it was going to take every one of them, and it was going to take a lot of discipline in the front 7 and the back end. And boy, they did that.
I was just learning about this team. I mean, you go through the process of, you know, every day, people talking about the hype, people talking about playing these guys in the stage. That type of win. What do you learn about this team?
I didn't learn anything. I got verification on what I already knew. And this is a resilient team. It already was a resilient team, and we added pieces to that resilient team. So we're built to handle some stuff, and we did that today against a very good opponent.
You brought up Dan. I know it's 1 in the first one for that matter, but what does this mean, grand scheme of things, to win on this stage for these guys after all you've been through? And can you give us some insight into what the locker room was like?
Yeah, I think there again we expected to win this game. You know, we came in here and we knew what we needed to do, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy, and we did that. And really, what it means is that's 1. That's 1. That's 1. So we got to clean up our issues that hurt us on some stuff today, and be ready for Seattle in 10 days. And that's what it is.
You brought up those third downs, Dan. That was a big point at halftime for you. They went 5-7 in the first half. So what was the big adjustment there that helped you get them off the field?
Well, listen, honestly, it was Mahomes. You know, it was him breaking the pocket, and out of the first half, he was their leading rusher, and most of that was on third down. So we talked about, once again, making an emphasis on our rush lanes, you know. Man, we got to plaster those guys in coverage. Just stay with them a little bit longer. And you just put another emphasis on it and get guys centered back to what we talked about, and boy, they did a hell of a job.
The fake punt, what went into the decision to do that?
We just, look, that's something that Phipp and I had talked about, and we knew there was going to be a right time to do it, and I felt like that was the right time to do it.
Big
So.
moment. Sorry, a big moment for some of the young guys. Just talk about the rookie contribution. Looks like it was across the board that you got big plays from those guys, and even on the Montgomery touchdown, the Florida block, just little plays
Yeah.
like that maybe added up to making a big difference.
Well, absolutely. But I need to watch the tape too. So I don't want to start giving out all this praise to the rookies when I haven't seen everything yet. But I know this. I did see Laporta's block. I thought it was a hell of a job. I saw Gibbs made a couple of runs that he turned into, 4 or 5 yard gains and got more out of it just with his own effort, which was outstanding. And, I thought Jack showed up in some things, and certainly Branch. It was a big play he had. He had some big tackles. But I know this, as you would think, they got a lot to clean up. And that was game one. They're only going to be better from this experience, these reps. They're going to be better in game two. They'll be better in game three. But certainly they helped us win. They helped us win.
And when going back to the fake punt, when you talk about, was there something you saw on film that Kansas City was doing that you knew that you could exploit a weakness, or was it more about what you guys were doing?
I would say it was both ways. It was them and us. We knew we were going to be played different by what we do, and how we run things with our punt team.
A couple different things with the crowd. One, you talked about the noise all week. It seemed like your guys had some struggles at different points of the game. Can you just explain to us on the field what that was like, and then the flip side of that, just the presence of Lions fans in this crowd?
Yeah. So look, we there you go. First one out on the road. Arrowhead's a loud place to play, and when you're doing some of those silent counts, we did a lot of the fast motion stuff, and that's there's a lot of timing that goes into that, and we had a couple of little issues there. You don't want them to happen, but I wouldn't say that it was something that would be abnormal either, And there again, it was something we were able to overcome. I thought we were able to settle down, calm down, and stay with it. And all in all, I thought we handled it pretty well. Now, do we need to be much better? Yeah, we do. But I know this was a tough environment to come play in. And to that's why I'm excited, because I can't wait to get back to Ford Field, because you know how loud that is. I know our place is going to be louder than this. I believe it with everything. And this is a loud place. So. But to that point, third quarter, when I walked out in pregame, I'm looking, you see the sea of blue. I'm like, wow. And then about the third quarter, you could start hearing them. You could hear them. And it just started to grow as we got into the fourth quarter, man. Our fans they made themselves known, and we could feel it. So it's outstanding to have fans that travel like that. Man, we see you, and it's much appreciated.
And did you actually hear the Let's Go Lion chant?
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Did you guys do stuff to knock Mahomes out of sorts, besides the fact that he was missing Kelsey, but he was missing receivers, or they were out of sorts? Did you guys do something, you think, to not rattle him, but not?
No, I am a believer in when you play a certain style of football and you do it repetitively over and over, that you can things can go your way. And, and they had some drops. They were a little out of sorts, but I think, there's going to be an element of, man, they're going to want to have better timing, clean some things up, but I'd like to believe that we had a hand in that by the way we played too. Our aggressiveness, our hustle. I thought we were physical, and I thought that really played into our favor today.
Yeah, the flip side of it, the punt, the fake punt. You guys had a 4th and 2 or 3 that you punted on and trusted your defense. I guess maybe that speaks to the confidence you have, and then just maybe a word on that decision and why right there you felt the need to put it in the hands.
Yeah, I felt like our defense was playing really good football, and at that moment, and that's hard. It's hard for me to do that. Not that, but just in general, there was, you want to give your offense some more opportunities, but I just felt like it was right. And the way our defense was playing, man, let's put them back on the field and see if we can come away with another takeaway, another stop. That's another special teams rep for us on a punt return once we stop them. So I liked where we were at.
You speak to the game Goff at 22 of 35 was really efficient. No interceptions. Yeah, he streaks up like 359 an hour. whatever it is. Just this is a tough place to play, tough place to operate.
Yes, it is.
Offense, and just
Yeah.
the way he was able to move you guys, keep down the pace there.
Look, I said I thought he was really, man, all week I thought he looked very confident and calm and just steady. The way he's practicing, accurate throws. And I thought he played very steady today. You know, is there things that we can clean up? That, you know, some throws he would want back? Yeah, you know, that comes with anything. But man, he took care of the football. You know, there again, he got us in the right play. He calmed the waters for us, and he did what we needed to do to win the game today. And I'm proud of him for that.
You sense a collective poise from your guys in the fourth quarter. It's a carryover from that second half run last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Our guys, I really believe, know what we're getting into, and I think that's big, is to understand that, you know, we talked about it before the game. I mean, they may hit 3 explosives in a row, and then the fourth one is when you get the takeaway, and it changes the game. Or you have 4 3-and-outs, and then all of a sudden you hit an explosive touchdown. So they understand that about this game, and that's one of the reasons I love this team, man. They don't get fazed by those things. And they know that the next one's coming. The next play is the one that's going to change the game for us, and they played that way today.
Can you speak to the performance of Josh Reynolds, but also a large game too?
Yeah, boy, he showed up. You know, he showed up when we needed it most. You know, we knew they were going to try to take Sane out of some stuff, and we needed somebody to step up, and Reynolds did that in a big way today. And you know, it was outstanding to see from him. He was big for us.
Coach Brad talked about it in his press conference. He was talking about basically how you guys had to go through all the lumps and bruises to get here. I guess how gratifying is it? I mean, you started last year, the year before the Wiz, you started having the Senior Bowl. To get to this point now, how much do you appreciate this win? How much more?
I think any win at this point, after, you know, kind of what we've endured over the last couple of years, is going to feel good, you know. And but I know this, I'm going to enjoy it for about 2 or 3 days here, and then it's back to work, you know. And because it's all for naught if you don't carry it over. So I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of the way we worked. I'm proud of the staff, you know, and I'm proud of Brad. I mean, hell, he constructed this, and we got a chance, you know. I think we came out pretty healthy, and so it's good, but that was win 1.
Just cramps for Branch and
Yeah.
Thank you. Locker room's open, guys. We'll have Jared
Okay.
Goff in here as well. Thanks. Thank you.
It sucks. It's ridiculous. So there's a new no-fault law that allows drivers to have new choices, and it makes their rates significantly less.
Really? How much though?
So in most cases, we can save you up to 60%.
Why isn't my insurance company lowering my rates?
Because Cure is a no-fault specialist, so we came in this state knowing what the impact of the law is going to be. Your current insurance company is not willing to take that risk.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to cure.com to see how you can save.
So tell me about car insurance in Michigan.
It sucked.
You heard from head coach Dan Campbell just now, and he said his team was expecting to come into Arrowhead and win this thing. Lomas Brown joined by Dannie Rogers. This is Detroit Lions Live postgame show brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. That's a change from the last 2 or so years. Coming in to expect to win this game, what was the mindset that you picked up on very quickly from these Lions?
You know, I thought with us trying to establish the line of scrimmage, running the ball, because again, like you said, no Chris Jones, and even their second leading sacker, he wasn't there for the game too. So we knew we could take advantage of them, establish the run. We know as an offense, everything comes off the run. So that was the first key to me, that we wanted to be aggressive against this Kansas City Chiefs team.
I'm glad you mentioned the run game. Let's take a look at the final stats that includes that. I mean, you look at, nothing stood out to you first, Lomas, when you looked at these final stats.
Right.
That's what you told me.
Yeah.
But then you take a closer look. The time of possession, Detroit, about 5 minutes more than what Kansas City had. That seemed to make a difference, though.
Oh, without a doubt, Danny. I mean, we needed every minute we could get, especially going up against Patrick Mahomes. He's a guy that you don't want to give a lot of opportunities to. And again, I just thought with that time of possession, us having the extra 5 minutes, that enabled us to do some things. And then it was a little, because of more in the second half, we controlled the ball. First half, Kansas City controlled. I thought the second half we did a great job of controlling the ball and controlling the clock.
Detroit Lions cleared out the running backs room coming into this season. You now have David Montgomery and the rookie Jahmyr Gibbs leading the charge, starting with Montgomery, who led all rushers in this game. 21 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown, a big touchdown at that. What did you see out of Monty, his first game in a Lions jersey?
Yeah, just like I told you, I was shocked. I really didn't know he had that kind of yardage. It was a lot of tough yardage that he got. But again, man, this dude never stops using his legs. He's always falling forward. He's always pushing the pile. And I think that's what makes him the type of player that he is. So if we could keep getting that production from him between the tackles, and you got a Jahmyr Gibbs that you can hit the corners with, I think they can be a lethal combination.
I know the Twitter sphere is talking. They want to see more Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yes.
He had 7 carries for 42 yards, but you know he's going to be involved in the pass game as well. Gibbs had 2 receptions for 18 yards.
Yeah.
What did you see out of that rookie?
Well, and we have to remember, Danny, 1, he is a rookie. This was his first full game. And 2, as a rookie running back, the thing you have to be sound in is your pass protection. Because, again, you have the quarterback back there, so you have to be able to protect the guy. I think that's maybe the reason why Jahmyr didn't play as much as we thought he would play in this first game. But, look, Lion fans, get ready, because that young man is special, and they're going to find a way to get the ball in his hands plenty of times.
Another player that continues to be special is wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. In year 3, it's like there was no offseason. He returned to regular form. He had 6 receptions for 71 yards and also a touchdown coming from him. Did he skip a beat?
Danny, can I say this? This franchise produced Herman Moore and Calvin Johnson. They're 2 of the great receivers that ever played this game, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is breaking all their records. He's doing things, man, that I never thought would be getting done, especially with our organization, and like I say, especially with the wide receivers we've had here. He's a special cat. We're lucky to have him, and hopefully he could just continue to break records.
You mentioned the pass
I like it.
If you can,
That's CJ. That's my homeboy, CJ.
We talk about it all the time. CJ Gardner-Johnson.
That-
He doesn't stop talking on the field. He doesn't stop yelling at us constantly.
Hey, look.
I love it, though.
Danny, you need that energy back there, especially from a guy like CJ, a guy coming from a winning program, and he's a guy that's going to keep you hyped. So when things are going bad, he's a guy that would take care of you and keep you hyped. Oh, that's my firstborn right there. My firstborn.
I hope you just saw Panay Sewell's head come behind us. Lomas's firstborn.
Yes.
Okay, they all have something to say. They're a little bit comfier with us this year. Jared Goff, we have to talk about him. Head coach Dan Campbell said he looked steady all week during practice. He comes into this game. He looks steady.
Yeah.
There were some ups and downs, a couple of passes defended, pass breakups, but all in all, he had a steady game, just like Coach Campbell said.
I'm going to go and say this. He's had a steady year so far.
Yeah.
Training camp, he was great. I know he didn't play much in the preseason, but Jared, you could just tell he's confident in this offense. He has this offense. Ben Johnson said it. Jared knows this offense inside and out, and he's letting them have it and letting them handle this offense. So I'm looking for Jared to just keep getting better and better and better, as this season goes along.
Is it okay if he's our player of the game?
Oh, yeah, please.
He's
Can
our
we
player of
do
the
that?
game.
Please.
He has to be. 22 of 35 for passing, over 250 yards through the air. Good enough for a tutty. And he just looks really confident going out there every time he steps out on the field.
Oh my God! I think he outdueled Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh.
And you don't hear
Well,
it
his
too
passer
many-
rating was higher than
There
Patrick
you go.
Mahomes.
You
Yep.
don't hear that too often where another quarterback is better than Patrick Mahomes on game day.
Mm-hmm.
I can say this: Jared Goff was the better quarterback today.
He was.
Yes,
What
he
can he
was.
continue to do to keep it consistent?
Yeah, so Danny, I just think what he has to continue to do is just use all his weapons. We know about Amar Ra, we know about Reynolds, but just use all of them. Jameer Gibbs. Let's just keep using all our guys. Laporta, man, we have some weapons on the offensive side of the ball, and with a great mind like Ben Johnson, I mean, he's going to create things. He's going to design plays that help Jared succeed. So Jared, stay consistent. I know Ben Johnson's going to help you get to where you want to go.
Someone on Twitter really wants to know what Jared Goff is buying Ben Johnson for a Christmas present, and I said I would do the dirty work and ask.
Okay,
So,
you gonna ask?
Best, but I'll ask.
All right.
Ben Johnson deserves a big gift. Maybe Jared Goff will agree. He's at the podium now. Let's go to him.
Can you just speak to how rewarding that is in the fourth quarter and just the team effort it was, the defense getting a couple of critical stops there, and then on offense, 2 minutes, and you guys are able to run it right down their throat and end it with kneel down. Just how rewarding is that?
Yeah, very. A lot of work's been put in this offseason, and you want to start off winning the first one, and we did today. We didn't play our best ball today, certainly on offense. I thought the defense kept us in the game for the most part, but when we had to be great, we were, and found a way.
How gratifying is it to be a part of this, just this turnaround? Just experiencing the last two, having to go through everything you guys had to go through to get this win. How much more special does it make it?
Yeah, it's special. I think we're to the point now where we're built for environments like this, to go on the road to anywhere and go pull out a win. And even if it's ugly, it's a win, and we're happy about it.
What about some of the young guys offensively?
Yeah.
And how big that was?
Yep.
It's like you guys don't rely on those guys. What do you
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, Jameer out of the backfield and Sam, I thought did a hell of a job. Both of them were on their game plans. They knew exactly what they were doing. Ja reacted hot on one of the routes he was running. It was perfect. He did a great job. But both those guys help us a lot, and yeah, we're good.
What's it like for you to be in Arrowhead, this Lomas Stadium, and at the end, all you hear is Lions fans?
Yeah, it felt a lot like Green Bay last year. Very similar, and we love our fans. I don't know. I mean, it seemed like they may have forced that false start at the end on Kansas City, which would be pretty impressive. If so, it looked like it. But they were loud when we were on defense, and they were quiet when we were on offense, and helping us out a little bit there on defense.
A year ago, you were talking about we're just a play away, at different points last year. What's the next step for this team?
Yeah, we just didn't play our best ball today. We kind of got away with one in some ways, but that's what good teams do. You don't play your best, and you find a way in the fourth quarter to get a stop on defense, to get a first down on offense, to make those catches Josh made and be able to score on that drive, that long drive we had. So that's what we're starting to become now, and it's a good feeling.
You mentioned I was going to ask about Josh, just
Yeah.
being able to step up like that, a guy that you obviously got a lot of familiarity.
Yeah, I got a lot of trust with him. And has done a hell of a job getting himself ready. And those two plays at the end of the game are as big as they come. And it was good.
The trust that Campbell shows in you guys when he goes for 4th and 2 or fakes a punt from
Yeah.
their own 17, how does that resonate with you guys?
Yeah, we love it. I don't think we even flinched. I know we didn't convert on the 4th and 2 or whatever it was, but we didn't even flinch to walk off the field. We knew we were going for it, and it seeps into us and our confidence on the field. And yeah, I mean the backed up fake punt's pretty ballsy, but it worked.
Can you speak to the versatility of Jameer Gibbs a little bit, actually getting the chance to see him in a
Yeah.
regular season setting? I mean, how versatile is this guy?
Yeah, he's extremely explosive. I think there was a couple of those runs he had where one more little pull out of a leg tackle, he's gone. And then in the pass game, he can kind of do it all as well. So he gives us an element that not many teams have, and we're lucky to have him.
You just speak of the confidence level you have in this defense now. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about this spring, you call them sticky, and it's much harder to complete passes and everything else, but when you have that confidence in the defense, maybe you not have to force something, you don't have to do this, you just have faith that those guys will have your back too.
Absolutely. I think you have more than confidence in them. You are expecting things to happen like that now. They've got some good players over there, and have done a great job through training camp, challenging us and getting themselves ready to go. And a guy like Brian Branch steps up and makes that play. He's a playmaker, puts us right back in the game. We were down 7-14, kind of couldn't do anything on offense. They score there. The game could get busted open, and put us right back in it. Some of those third down stops, I think Saul just told me that they were 0 for on third down in the second half, which is
5-7 and over 7.
pretty impressive, man. It's being your best when we need it, and those guys were.
All you guys?
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So tell me about car insurance in Michigan.
It sucks. It's ridiculous.
So there's a new no-fault law that allows drivers to have new choices, and it makes their rates significantly less.
Really? How much though?
So in most cases, we can save you up to 60%.
Why isn't my insurance company lowering my rates?
Because Cure is a no-fault specialist, so we came in this state knowing what the impact of the law is going to be. Your current insurance company is not willing to take that risk.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to cure.com to see how you can save. Well, if the quarterback mentions him, we have to mention him. Yeah. The rookie, Brian Branch, coming up with that momentum-swinging pick six in the third quarter. Dan Campbell said at the half, look, they need to convert on third down, and they need takeaways. Yeah. Brian Branch heard that message loud and clear.
Man, that was awesome. And the pick, it was awesome, Danny. It was like a one-handed pick. It was just an athletic move by Brian Branch. A great break for us. We took advantage of it. And like you said, those rookies, those young kids, those babies, they're starting to step up.
Not much to go along with stat line for Brian Branch. 3 tackles. He started the game. He got a majority of the minutes. Only came out when there was a cramp.
Yes.
It was hot out there, on that grass.
Yeah, I mean, and we had a couple of guys, I think Pascal, I think he was suffering from cramps. But for the most part, we were pretty clean, Danny. Not a lot of injuries, and that's kind of what you want to see, especially if you could get out the first game of the season, the first action for those guys. So I'm very happy with how we showed up today and showed out.
Mm-hmm. Aaron Glenn said he wanted this defense to be physical and violent. I feel like Brian Branch encompasses all of that.
Yes, him, CJ. I mean, CJ made some nice plays. Alex Anzalone, he was on a lot of plays. The front line did a great job of keeping contained and keeping those guys in between the tackle. I thought when they rushed Patrick Mahomes, they kept him in the pocket. So I thought our defense played very well. Took advantage of turnovers when they had to get them, made stops when they had to do it, and gave our offense an opportunity to go down and score.
Mm-hmm. And possibly one of the biggest scores of the night coming from Brian Branch, that pick six. I had the chance to catch up with the rookie after the game. Here's what he had to say. All right, Brian, this defense put Mahomes and the Chiefs offense backs up against the wall, and this game ends with the ball in your offense's hands. They kneel it out. How did your defense do it?
You know, we struggled early on, but I feel like we played as one, you know, towards the end. And just we was in a dog. We knew it was gonna be a dog fight, and we still we stuck with each other and kept on playing with each other. And shoot, that's all you can ask.
You've been described as having elite instincts. They kicked in the third quarter with that pick six to tie the ball game. Break down, how did you come up with that ball?
Well, shout out to my boy Jerry. It was a crossing route. We was in zone, and he was right on him, and he tipped the ball actually, and I was able to pick it. So, you know, shout out to my boy Jerry.
These Lions open up the entire NFL season against the Super Bowl defending champs, and you guys are going home with a win. What message did this team send tonight?
Even though it's just the first game, this is only the beginning. And, you know, the fact that, you know, I heard we ain't won the first game in about 7 years, and for us to be able to do this against Super Bowl champs, you know, speaks a lot of high volume to us, and we just got to keep on going.
Is that your game ball? Is that your interception ball?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it.
Let's talk to the camera. How's the big smile?
Ooh.
All right, you heard from the rookie. He had his pick six ball, so don't
Yes.
worry, that is safely in his possession. The linebacker, Alex Anzalone, he led these Lions in tackles today. I feel like everywhere I looked, sideline to sideline.
Yes.
Anzalone was there.
Danny, you are so right. I mean, look, he wears the green dot. He's the captain on that defense, and he proved it today. Like you say, he was sideline to sideline. He's making calls. He's getting guys lined up. He's the emotional leader for this for the Detroit Lions defense. Aaron Glenn trusts him because he's been with him. So Alex Anzalone is almost irreplaceable for us. And like you say, he led us today on the defensive side of the ball.
And Derek Barnes was right up there with him, who he was hyped up in the spring. Derek Barnes had a fabulous spring, and he's carried it over into the games as well. What did you see out of Barnes?
Yeah, look, Danny, remember Calvin Shepard told us a couple of weeks ago he had 4 starting linebackers, and I believe it, Danny. All these guys stepped up. Like you say, DB, Derek Barnes, he stepped up. Rodrigo, he stepped up. But you can kind of see Derek growing into that role of becoming more and more of a leader, and he's exuding more and more confidence on that side of the ball. So it's great to see how he's developing, how he's growing right before our very eyes.
I love it. Don't forget about Germ. He's the one that converted on that 4th and 2 linebacker.
You know, I'm glad you clued me in on the nickname.
Jalen Reeves-Maven is known as Germ here in Detroit.
And I was the last one to know this, people. They didn't fill me in on this important information, so I was the last one to know.
Now he knows. We love Germ. Army Swiss knife on that special teams. Okay, the good news is Detroit is going home. It's going to be a very late flight.
Yes.
They'll touch down early morning hours here today. They'll get ready for Seattle. 10 days. They get a nice, needed break, which I think is going to come in handy. And then it's Geno Smith and those Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
They came to Detroit last year.
Thank you.
They got the dub.
Thank you.
Not this year, sir.
Thank you. It's going to be a little revenge, Danny. We out for revenge this time. Geno, you and the rest of those guys, you might want to stay in Seattle because you come to Detroit. We got something for you.
That was sassy.
Thank you. Hey,
Wow.
There it is. Thank you.
We got the people, the peanut gallery cracking up right now. Final takeaways from this massive 21-20 win.
Massive, Danny. It was. Just think about this, people. We beat the defending Super Bowl champions in their place the night they raised the banner with Patrick Mahomes. What about that?
That sounds good.
Doesn't it?
Sounds
real
nice.
good.
All right, that's your final takeaways. That's Lomas Brown. I'm Dannie Rogers. This has been a fun show. We knew it'd be a late night, but this makes it even better, way more worthwhile. Thanks to everyone for tuning into the Detroit Lions Live post-game show by Kier Auto Insurance. 10 days, and the Detroit Lions will face off against the Seattle Seahawks after a massive, like we like to call it, 21-20 win over the defending Super Bowl champions. We'll be with you guys next week from our beloved Ford Field with some AC, a roof, no fireworks, but that's okay because we have AC and a roof.
We're going to create our own fireworks. That's what we're going to do.
You're a cheesy man tonight. All right, for Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. We're signing off from Kansas City. We'll see you back in Detroit.